Sam, it's good to meet you. My name's Nev. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Now, of course, you're kicking off the year with the closer.
Closer,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. The closer Australian tour with your buddies Aurateque in support of your latest single, "The Day Brings." It's creeping up fast, mate. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, really positive. We have such an incredible lineup, kind of organized, and yeah, everyone's just getting ready, and we're rehearsing a lot and getting the live set together, and yeah, it'll just be amazing, especially playing a show in Brisbane and Melbourne. So we've got some fans there, which will be interesting. But
Is
yeah,
this
we're all very excited.
first time in Brizzo?
Yeah, first time playing a show in Brisbane. We've played shows in Melbourne before, but yeah, no, never Brisbane, which is great.
Wow. Okay. This is all right. It's always exciting when you go into a new city and you're playing somewhere you haven't played. Like I'm going to be playing in Wollongong in the Gong on in a couple of weeks. I've never been there. I've had family there, everything. I've never been. So it's kind of exciting. I know what it's like. It's exciting to go places and play places
Wow.
that you haven't done before, right?
Yeah, definitely. Well,
So
the Wollongong, from what I've heard, has they're like a very kind of like niche community of like followers there, so that should be interesting.
have you
They're kind of like
done
the
have you done
punk
there?
scene. Yeah, yeah, I've played a show once in Wollongong, and yeah, yeah, it's different. But I don't think they realized, like, I think we were kind of just starting off then, and yeah, it was a bit intimidating, but um yeah, but I don't know, that was years ago, like 2018 or something. Oh,
Oh, mate. Well, it's cool you're hitting the road on that adventure, of course, with Aurateque. Is that how you
mm.
pronounce their name?
Aurateque, yeah, yeah.
Aurateque, yeah, great band. I've heard them, but I can't pronounce their name properly. I can't even my own name properly tonight. I'm sorry. But mate, are you excited about, hitting the road with them?
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, she's great. She's a fantastic vocalist, and we've been messaging and kind of like admiring each other, and yeah, so I haven't actually met them in person, so that'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get up to lots of fun when we're together.
Well, I mean, have you discussed maybe having a duet or jamming on something together?
We actually kind of spoke about that, how it's the collab that no one thought they needed. It's kind of like a running joke now between us. If we ever did like a collab of some sort in the future, I think that would be great because she obviously can scream as well. So which is yeah, not something I can do, but yeah, definitely would be lots of fun.
And what was that collab?
Oh no, we were just talking about it, as in
Oh,
like
yeah, there
maybe
wasn't
down the
one.
track.
Okay, not one
Yeah,
particular
maybe we could
song
do.
or covering.
Yeah, no, like just maybe we could like have her feature on a Fifth Dawn track or vice versa or something like that. That'll be fun.
Hey, there you go. That'd be sick.
Yeah, unless she was joking and she's probably got to hear this and like, oh my God, it was just a joke. Like, oops.
No, I'm
Sorry.
sure. Look, hey, like there's nothing more cooler than getting your buddies on some tracks. You know, it's the way to do it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. And another thing I like about this tour is it also seems to showcase a lot of female-driven bands like yourselves and Aurateque and my buddies Horizon up here, which is really cool. I mean, that sounds like it was something it's pretty important to you. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's not it's interesting because as a kind of topic of discussion, like just growing up, it's never really something I really paid much attention to. Because most of the bands I listen to are obviously kind of male dominated and stuff. Until I actually um wanted to do that myself and started in a band, I realized that there's actually, yeah, not a lot of kind of representation, or at least when I first started doing this. There is a lot more now, which is great to see. So there's just like a wealth of yeah, amazing kind of female fronted bands in Australia at the moment, which is great. So
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
ladies are gonna kick some ass.
I think so, and I think there needs to be a big festival celebrating that too. You've like
Definitely.
yourselves, there's like, as I mentioned, Horizon, and then there's like Red Hook, the last
Yeah,
quarter
wow,
are doing
exactly.
great things. There's a lot of I know some people get a little annoyed with the female fronted, you know, I guess title, but I think it's something
Yeah,
as a dad who's got uh, daughters and a granddaughter. I think it's something that's super super important to have those role models and influences.
definitely.
For the
Yeah.
future, you know.
See, it's interesting you say that. I wouldn't say it annoys me. I just find it odd sometimes when like people describe us as like a female fronted band, like they're just stating the obvious.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a female fronting this band. It doesn't actually give any description as to like what kind of music it is or anything.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, yep, there's a girl and she's fronting this band, as just to say, like, I wouldn't really class it like a genre of music or
Right.
anything, but it's more just, yeah, I would say just like a descriptor. But yeah.
And the single is awesome too, the latest one, which is the
Thank you.
Day Brings, right? Mate.
Yeah.
Well, a EP? Would you call it a mini EP?
Oh, we're actually yeah, we're tracking along or we're planning to release an album this year. So
Ah,
yeah, so we've released three songs so far and we've got a couple more kind of lined up and yeah, getting everything together. All the songs are pretty much there. Just need to plan out the whole marketing campaign and seeing what we want to do with it. But yeah, definitely a full length album is what we're doing.
so with the tracks that have been released so far, like, because there was what was the other track? Sorry, I should have this
No,
written
that's right.
down.
Return and in between.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Are they going to be on the album? Is that an indication of where it's headed?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yes. So they'll obviously feature on the album and yeah. Yeah, so depending on how many songs at the moment, we're thinking it might be a 12 track um album, but yeah, depending on kind of what happens in the next few months because we just keep writing it's weird because we just keep writing stuff and we're like, "Oh, I actually really like that song and that should be on the album." And it's just like, yeah, hopefully we just kind of land on something and just kind of lock it in, which is kind of what we've done at the moment, but
Yeah.
yeah.
It's hard to, it's hard sometimes. It is like you write all these songs and you're like, oh, I like this section, and you don't want to get rid of that song. Or if it's even moving forward with new material, what I'm finding at the moment, me personally, is my connection to the older material. I don't know if you feel that
Mm.
way, and you sort of, you've kind of got to say bye to some of those songs even for a while as you move into the new stuff. I don't know.
Oh yeah, definitely. I get a bit sentimental like that. Like it's obviously not realistic to just be like, all right, guys, we're playing a show and we're gonna play every single song we've ever written. It's just, especially now, even like planning out this live set, because we've got a few obviously we've got the three songs and in the set list and there'll be a new song, an unreleased song that we're including in the set, which obviously we're going to yeah, it'll be good to see what the reception is like. Oh, but then we've got an album, we've got an EP, and it's just like, yeah, we kind of want to give the album a bit of love too. But then, God, the album's been out since 2018. Are people bored of it? Do they want to see it? We want to play it. It's, yeah,
And
just
then
trying to girl math my way through all these problems.
it happens though. It
Oh,
happens because
God.
you do get sentimental with some of those old tracks. Especially
Yeah.
lyrically, they're personal. I guess there's time
Yeah.
stamps, or they connect to a certain person, and that's the hardest thing. So moving forward
Mm.
though, are you finding that what you're writing about, is there a concept that you're working with, or is it a time in your life that you're reflecting on? Well, where do you feel that you're at musically and lyrically?
Yeah, so I'm actually in the process of kind of conceptualizing all the songs as kind of like all moving parts to an album, right?
Mm.
So every song, it's weird. When I started writing this album, I had this kind of overarching concept in mind. It's weird when you start it, it's like you don't know, like you're writing as as it goes, and you don't know what the next song's going to sound like. But um, I suppose every song just focuses on a certain aspect of my own personal development over the last few years. So just kind of life happening and things happening, relationships ending, and just kind of everything is, yeah, and how it's kind of yeah, making me the person that I want to be, coming of age or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, no, it is very deeply personal. So I'm trying every song will focus on a different aspect of that whole journey, if you may. So yeah.
That's great.
Keeps me up at night.
Yes, I know, I know. Do you ever get that thing where, you'll wake up in the middle of the night and then, the ideas start cooking? You're like, got to get it down. You grab your phone, you're like in the other room,
Oh yeah.
ears, and you try
It
not to
always
wake
happens at the worst time as well. Like I
up.
could be like on the toilet and I'm like, oh my God, I just came up with this amazing idea and I'm on the toilet. Like
No. Or
I'm
shower.
like, my phone's dead.
I have trouble when I'm driving because I'm one of those people that thinks a lot when you're driving, and I just can't.
Mm.
You're trying to yell at Siri to tell you to hit the record in the app, and there's like you're driving, you can't do it. It's like the worst thing. So you got to try and remember. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Yeah, no, yeah, it definitely doesn't seem to happen at the easiest of times. It's always at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when I have work the next day, and I'm just like,
What's with
why? Why is this happening now?
yeah? You go to work and
But
everyone.
I suppose it's the beauty of the process, right? It's just yeah, and there are days where I try and be productive, and I'll set aside time, and there's an instrumental that I need to work on, and yeah, it just isn't happening. And then all that ends up happening is I end up binging some Netflix series, and I'm thinking, God, why am I like this? And then there'll be other times where, yeah, it all just kind of locks in, like the idea will come, and yeah, so it's not exactly a linear process,
No, no.
but
Hey,
it's worked for me so far.
what is it? Hey, it's somewhere up here. I don't know where and it's just you're at the mercy of something else that's going on sometimes, and I'm like, hey, give me the give me the idea, and they're like, yeah, no, no, we're just gonna do it somewhere that's inconvenient because it's funnier that way. But of course, I mean, you've had some amazing support all over the world, and you've been streamed like something like over 3 million times. Is that right?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, a couple of our songs are up there. Yeah. One of our songs, High Towers, has almost hit 3 million streams. And it's like, it just, yeah, it definitely keeps us humble a little bit. We think, God, like some people would kill for those numbers. And it kind of just happened organically over time.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting. And then starting to realize now as we're like releasing new music, we're thinking a lot in the mind of, all right, like how does the algorithm work and how does it all work and are we doing the right things? And yeah, but definitely with that album, we kind of just essentially put it out in the world. We didn't really have any strategy in place or anything like that. Not a lot of promotion kind of went into it aside from just posting stuff, and around that time we just had no idea what we were doing. But yeah, to see that kind of organic growth of followers and streams and listeners and stuff is, yeah, quite remarkable, really.
Exciting, man. Exciting.
Yeah,
It does it.
I love it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it keeps you going. Do you find that it's making you sort of see possibilities of getting out of Australia, like going overseas and touring over there? Like, is that the plan? Is that where you're sort
Oh,
of thinking now?
definitely. That would be amazing. It's actually quite interesting. So a lot of, I would say, just kind of like a rolling figure of the top of my head, I'd say about 80% of our listeners and the demand for like our music and stuff is in the States. Um, oh, but just to plan like an international tour and everything, logistically, it's a nightmare. Like, you have to be in the kind of in the right spot at the right time. Um, yeah, so definitely I would love to yeah, play some shows over there, but at the moment we're just trying to navigate the Australian music scene, which seems to be a lot harder for some reason.
Yes.
Like it's a much smaller community, but it's yeah, it feels like it's a bit like a club, almost like you need to know the right people and yeah, a lot of networking and that kind of
Mm.
stuff, which is it's just how it is, right?
That's right. And it
Uh,
changes like that. Like people
yeah, it's like
in the
rolling
industry will come and
trends.
go, and you're like, you got to try and keep up with everything. It's difficult. It's really
Yeah.
but
And I think from speaking to other musicians and other people in our kind of situation, God, everyone's feeling it. Like every single band or artist is feeling the same thing or having the same thoughts. Like, how the hell do you do this? Like, what works? Like, how are they doing it? And we're not getting there. Or just, it's just, yeah, yeah. I don't think there's any kind of right way to do it.
mm,
I just think, yeah, there's obviously there's tips and tricks that people can pass on, but yeah. Or you could just be like us at that one point in time with our album where it just kind of something just happened and
mm.
in the universe and it did really well. So yeah, I just count my blessings every single day that I get to do this in the capacity that that I get to. So
And vocally, you are incredible. Like I will say it, and like I think you are one of the best vocalists in the country. No
oh,
shit.
thank
No,
you.
no, no, no shit. Like I've listened to it over and over again, and like your vibrato vocal, it's just on point. It's beautiful, mate. Like
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
no, like as a vocalist, well, I scream a lot, but I appreciate that, and I listen to it, and I go, oh man, like it's just incredible. Where did it begin for you? Because we've all got that sort of what I call the Peter Parker moment. Yeah, that one moment
Yeah.
you discover the power, and you go, oh, I think I could do this. What was that moment for you?
You know what? I will tell you that story and I'm gonna shout out to an old friend, Elise. I'm gonna send this to her and I'll be like, I spoke about you on an interview. Um yeah, so I only started singing at the age of 14. So I had this friend, Elise. She used to play guitar and she used to sing a lot and I used to go over her house every Friday after school. It was just like this traditional thing that we used to do. And I obviously really loved music. And I used to sing a lot, but always with music blaring. So I never actually heard myself sing up until that point. And I remember it was when Paramore's Brand New Eyes album came out. And obviously, like 2009, it had just come out, and we were all listening to it. And I was in the bathroom, just I don't know, curling my hair for no reason on a Friday night. I wasn't going anywhere, and she was just in her room, playing guitar and she was playing I think it was The Only Exception. Actually, I can tell you right now it was exactly that song. And she was playing and she was just playing the chords and she was singing and then she stopped singing and she just kept playing the song. And then I yeah, just started singing like almost like instinctively because I knew the song.
Mm.
And she just stopped playing and she's like, Was that you? I was like, what are you talking about? And it just occurred to me that I sung out loud and she's like, no, was that you just singing just now? I'm like, oh, yeah. And she's like, oh my God. She's like, you actually have a good voice. And then it was just that moment. I just thought, what, really? She's like, yeah. And oh my, it was like game over. We just started singing all the time then at that point, and I started singing, and yeah, it was really exciting. Like, I absolutely had no idea that I had any sort of vocal ability at all. And then yeah, and then I just started singing and it, by mistake. That's literally how it happened. It just happened by mistake. And yeah, I'm glad that she pointed it out because I was never a singing in the bathroom kind of person. I was always very shy. Like my parents will tell you, I never sung out loud or anything like that. Yeah, so I'm glad for that moment. What a shame that would have been if I just didn't sing and I never realized. And oh.
Oh,
And it's become, yeah.
magic. Like
That's
some,
literally the story.
it's like falling. It's like fate. You know what I mean? Like those moments.
Oh, I was so happy. Yeah, like right. I remember that. I remember that moment vividly because it was just he stopped playing. It was like, yeah, it was. And I guess it's funny you mentioned vibrato because that's actually something I had to learn. When I in the first year of singing, my parents, I performed at school, so we were practicing all the time. And then she's like, Sam, we should go. We should do performance evening this year. Performance evening was the like showcase or
Mm.
show that they put on, where everyone would, obviously play and sing or dance or act or whatever they do. And I went home and I was like, oh, Mum, I'm performing in this performance night. She's like, what? Like, what do you mean performing? And they had no idea, and I didn't even I just kind of left it at that. And then when they went and saw me, they're like, "Oh, I think we need, I think we need to get this girl some lessons and maybe start, I don't know, nurturing this ability." And yeah, I started singing, and vibrato was something that I never had when I first started
Mm.
singing. And it's something that I actually learnt. And now it's like chaos. I just can't seem to stop the vibrato.
Magical. And it's so powerful too. Like you know, it's it's strong. I can hear it.
Thank you.
I go, oh man, cool to have a voice like that. It's incredible, mate. Incredible.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Like I love it. Like it's what I love to do more than anything in the world. And to when I hear things such as that, and I hear that, and it makes me feel so wonderful because that's exactly how I feel when I listen to some of my favorite artists and some of my favorite like the artists and bands that inspire me, and you just kind of get that feeling that almost like the goosebumps or something, that feeling that kind of just lasts with you. And that's essentially what I try to achieve with my own music if I can. Yeah.
Who's your top five or top three? I won't give you a top. Who's
Top
your top
three.
three? Yeah, yeah, I'll go
No,
top
I'll give you
three.
I'll give you my top five. I can't narrow it down.
Okay, all
So
right.
off the
All right, okay.
Oh look, I would say, believe it or not, Jimmy Eat World is up there. I'd say Jimmy Eat World, Dance
Yes.
Gavin Dance. Ooh, oh man, it was Architects for a very long time. Architects were my favorite band for a very long time, but I can't say I'm a fan of their latest stuff, but I will still put them up there because again, like, yeah, for the longest time. Cirque Survive, I would say, is number four.
Yeah.
And the fifth one, oh my God. The fifth one, there's like so many that are kind of on the same level. You know what? There you go. There you have it. My top four.
All right. That first one you mentioned, Jimmy Eat World. Like I love my death metal and all the heavy, heavy shit. But Jimmy Eat World are like such an important band to me. Like
Oh wow.
my life,
Really?
man, that band my life would not be how it would be without that band. I met my wife on their message board in 2002, I think it was. And we met,
Oh my
became friends, and then got together and had kids. I proposed to her in Jimmy Eat World in Melbourne when they opened for Green Day. Like that
That is
band,
actually like a dream.
like that's that band is so and get this, my eldest daughter from previous, she gave us for Christmas Bleed American on vinyl. And it's
Oh
like,
wow.
oh man, just that band is so, so, so important to me. So that's so cool to hear that you love
I
them.
can't believe I'm hearing this. For some reason, I just my luck, right? I've gone through my entire life trying to like, you know, speaking out about this band. Like they're so important to me, and
Mm.
I just think Jim Adkins as a writer, as a songwriter, I just think he's probably one of the best songwriters I've ever heard. I just can't. Their whole discography, I can't. It's one of those bands where I've always liked their stuff, but then over time I realized just how good they are and how consistent they are, even to this day. And yeah, I don't really know a lot of people that like, well, that not that they don't like them, but I'll get the same response. Oh yeah, don't they have that song in American Pie? And it's just the same
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah. No, no, no. Like,
completely so underrated. It's ridiculous. I saw them last year that's supporting My Chemical Romance. It's
oh,
funny because that was like at the pinnacle moment of my life, seeing My Chemical Romance, and they were always like probably one of my favorite bands of all time. One of the first bands I ever loved. But I was there, and Jimmy World was supporting them, and I'm like, I'm so conflicted. I don't know who I'm more excited to see.
that's a
Oh
winner.
wow!
Yeah.
But I love to hear it. I love
Oh,
to hear it.
mate.
Their music just speaks to you. Chase This Light is just a absolutely flawless album. Like it's like a roller coaster of emotions. That whole album.
Big Casino gives me goosebumps every single fucking time.
Yeah, it's amazing. And
Him
it starts off that's the first track on the album, isn't it? It just starts off like that. Yeah,
and just him singing
crazy.
about how, how it's changed his life. You know,
Oh,
just those
he's
lyrics
a
get me, hey, real good.
he's like a wordsmith. Like he has a way with words and he has a way with melodies. And I just think his melodies as well are just so underrated.
Oh.
The songwriting and yeah.
I got to
Oh, that's
tell
great
him,
to hear.
I know, I got to tell him at Soundwave when I was backstage at Soundwave a few years back. Oh, long time ago actually now. When my wife was pregnant with my son and he was lined up for Pavlova. So he was signed up for Pavlova. I was like, this is my chance. This is my one chance. And I went up to him. I was like, hey, man, how you going? He's like, hey, how are you? Said, mate, my life would not be where it is now without you. And told him the story. And he's like, oh, that's amazing. And I'm like, brr. Take a photo for my wife on my flip phone. And, oh, mate, such a fucking important band. I know. We're meant to be talking about your band, not my.
No, let's talk about
I
them.
thought I'd
I've
share.
been waiting my whole life to speak to someone about them that's like actually likes them. Oh my God. I reckon if I met him, I would spontaneously combust.
Yes.
I reckon I wouldn't be alive to tell the tale. People wouldn't believe me. They say, how'd she die? I don't know. She obviously met him. That's obviously the cause of death here, right?
Death by Jim.
Um, Death by Jim. Oh, that'd be awesome.
I think we just
I mean,
became
like not dying, but like meeting him. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. I know. Oh, it's amazing. One day. Be awesome to see you guys open for Jimmy. How's that?
Oh my God. Hopefully they just play music forever. They keep playing and writing music forever because
Mm.
that would definitely be a dream come true. But I'm also very mindful that he's, had a long career and I just hope he doesn't throw in the towel anytime soon.
Oh no, I think they've still got lots in them. Let's put that out into the
Definitely.
universe. Put it out, and you never know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You
You
never
can
know.
send him a message be like, I was that guy that you met and I was waiting for Pavlova and then I met this girl and blah 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 and then yep, and then all of a sudden we're opening for Jimmy well.
There you go. Hey,
Just like that.
time stamping this shit right now. You never know, mate. Putting it out in the influence. But mate, I tell you what it's exciting for you. Like coming up the year, album, everything, the tour. What else is on the cards that you probably can't tell me, but because we're best pals now, you're gonna be able to tell me, right?
Wow. Well, I pretty much revealed. Well, I could tell you. So I think you were kind of closer to her. I suppose closer is almost kind of foreshadowing the album in a way. Like people know that there's an album coming because I feel like you know there's a lot of people that are like, when's the album coming? And then eventually we're just like, yeah, it's coming. All right, shut up. Like
Calm
it's
down.
coming this year sometime. Um, But yeah, no, so Closer has something to do with the album title. So all be revealed in due time. I don't even know why I'm making it so mysterious. Like, is there actually going to be anyone that's like on the edge of their seat?
Sure, they will, but you got to keep some surprises, and then jerks like me come along and go, "I want to know everything. I want the exclusives with my little press hat and my little typewriter, little hat and the little press thing." You know,
Well, I will tell you, we have a single. So there is a single coming out next month, which everything's kind of mapped out for that. But then there's another single in there's a tentative release date for sometime in April that I actually think it's the best song we've ever written. I actually think it's like the song. I think it's the song.
Oh, mate, I'm so keen. See?
I'm
What are you?
telling you, we all sat there and we've listened to it collectively, and we're just like, this song has everything. It has everything. It's like all of our best parts all in one song. And yeah, the whole just everything. So I'm really excited to share that with the world.
That's exciting. I'm excited. And I'm excited that you guys are coming up here. The tour is going to be amazing. Sam, thanks so much for hanging out on the show. It's been a real fun time
It's
talking.
been great. Oh, I've made another friend, a Jimmy fan. I love it.
Maybe one day we'll do
We
a
need
Jimmy World cover.
the world needs more of it. Oh, you know what? I fucking will. Wait, can I swear on this thing? I
Yeah,
can't.
we say all the fucks.
I fucking will. It's like, mind you, I've probably sworn like so many times now I didn't realize it. It's like, oh, you were already swearing, Sam. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I will definitely. So this year, as kind of like a personal thing, I do want to get on the TikTok game and maybe just start making more covers and just kind of putting myself out there. Just like my own versions or renditions of songs. But Jimmy, well, I would definitely do, even if it's like a Jimmy medley or something, just pick my favorite parts out of my favorite songs and just put it out in the world and hope he comes across it. I reckon he's the kind of person, mark my words, I reckon he's the kind of person that will see it and like share it and be like, this is cool. So
Hey, can I chuck in a request?
mm,
Lucky Denver Mint.
okay. Oh, it's an old one.
I love it. I love that song. Like, I can't listen to that song without going, "Whoa," being a real baby.
You know what? I'll tag you. I'll just do a quick version of it one time and I'll
Yeah.
tag you and you'll be like, "Oh my God."
I'll be like, "Whoa."
I'll remember it. Yeah, and then you have to record a video of you crying, otherwise
Yeah,
it's
I
not
will.
authentic.
I can't listen to that song. I'm like this big death metal dude who can't listen to one fucking song without being yeah, anyway.
I'll
Man.
tell you what my favorite Jimmy Eat World song at the moment is. It's Movie Like.
Oh,
The
nice.
bridge in that song, it just elevates me every single time I listen to the bridge in that song, and it fills me with so much joy, like nothing else.
I think we just became best friends. Yeah. Yeah. Hey mate, I really can't wait to see you play, and we're gonna have all the links down here and on the website. Sam, my
Yay!
friend, thank you so much again for hanging, especially when you had to do it in your car.
No,
Buddy,
it's cool. It's a vibe. My
yeah,
neighbors are probably like, "Shut
like
up."
it's like what's that singing in cars thing show?
Oh
That
yeah,
horrible
it's
man,
a
except
thing.
it's just interviews in cars, which it just
Yeah,
has.
that guy.
Yeah,
I
that
know who you're talking
that
about.
one. That guy, yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway, but mate, take care, and we will see you very soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.